Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. In the last part, we reached Haiti after finishing off Mugshot's lair, and now it's time to continue this world on a little bit more.
Oh my God, the green waterfall overflowing with bones and body parts. I'm telling you, the health department's going to come down big time on this dope.
Bentley, that's just a common thing in Florida swamps. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
And, I think Miss Ruby would just get rid of the health department.
I mean, it does kind of remind me of that joke from, I think it was, I forget if it was the early seasons or the later seasons of Batman the Animated Series. It could have even been Justice League, but like the joke where even the Joker's afraid of the IRS. He's like, oh no, I'm not screwing with them.
I may be evil, but not that evil.
Which I always do appreciate, just stupid shit like that.
I do too. The jokes like that always make me laugh. Take the worst villain you possibly can and make them terrified of tax evasion.
Or something incredibly like mundane, like you're a destroyer god. Yeah, but spiders are scary. Because humanization for one thing a little bit, but also it's just funny to have just the silliest thing like that for super serious stuff. Those platforms fall when you jump on them, by the way, but it's not that big of a problem because you could probably still land on the poles we were climbing to get over here. This is an annoying section to miss a bottle in, though, I'll tell you what.
Nice thing is, Sly can sort of grab onto the edge too, if you're close enough.
Yeah, like his tolerance for that isn't as high as, say, like Mario is in most of the 3D games, but it's good enough on top of the length your jump can go where you're likely to as long as you're jumping at a real platform. And even then, as speedruns have shown me, there are some times where you can do that anyway. If you're wondering why I stupidly took that shot to the face, it's because I forgot to limp onto the chandelier above me, and, well, I wasn't about to just go re-record the level for that little screw-up. I always feel like in this song that they're about to transition into another instrument at some point, and I can't quite place why.
It just kind of feels more like a build-up.
Yeah.
It's like Cooper, that's right. I know you're here. I've seen it in the stars. It's all over my TVs. I'm in your mind, raccoon. I know your game. You better run for it, or me and my voodoo children are gonna sign you up for an eternity of soul servitude.
Well, that just sounds rude. I'd rather not. Plus, that's just working part-time at any given major retail store. What is kind of weird about the stealth in Slime 1 in retrospect is it feels like they didn't have a good idea on how to... And I shouldn't say didn't have a good idea. They didn't... What's the way... Their punishment for actually getting caught feels like it's not a real punishment, I guess is the way to put it, maybe. Because all it is lasers turn into heat lasers, which can damage you, and enemies try to attack you. But if you either hit the alarm or the enemies, it's not a threat.
This must be the source of all the disgusting green soup.
Soup? Where?
Bentley, why did you describe it like that?
Viscous.
Yes.
But like, Slide 2 and 3 and 4 as well, I think generally do a better job of making getting caught an actual punishment because usually, since the enemies are more annoying to deal with, it feels like it's actually like a good incentive to stay stealthing.
And it kind of feels like when the alarm goes off for the enemies, they all kind of gather quicker.
Yeah. And I guess that's ultimately because technically this... Sly 1's a bit weird in that it's more of a platformer with stealth elements rather than a stealth game with platformer elements like 2 and 3 are.
Before my righteous analytical ability, the combination has to be 571. It's Matthew De La Coupe's perpetual slow motion technique. With this move, you can slow down time whenever you want, not just while jumping. Hold down the triangle button to use it.
So this could be a little busted in some cases, of course. But you're this far into the game, so it's, I'd say, a good reward. There's not too many places where it's, like, absurdly useful, but if you're trying to get a little more precise with your platforming or time your way through certain cycles of guards, it can help out a lot. Thinking about it, though, I think if memory serves, aren't there missions in 2, 3, and 4 as well where if you get spotted by the guards, it's like an instant restart, like you get game over, effectively?
Yes, there is, because there's like specific missions where they explicitly tell you not to get caught.
Yeah, so even that alone makes getting spotted an actual more of a threat than it is here.
Yeah, but it's like in 2 and 3, you have like a health bar instead, so it's like you just lose like a bit of your health when you get caught.
Yeah. Mind you, in some regards, it's like this is only this studio's, I think, second or third game. So, hey, for a first stealth game on this aspect, not the worst first attempt.
No.
The vehicle seems to be outfitted with some sort of high-energy cannon. Use the left analog stick to move, and aim the right analog stick in the direction you want to shoot. Remember, you can only shoot in one direction while moving in another.
Sly, are you even listening to me over the bullet fire? No, I'm not. I've actually never really liked how this cannon fire sounds. It sounds weirdly wet.
Ugh. Yeah. Oh, now that you mention it, I can't unhear it.
Like, it kind of sounds like cutting through certain candles that are like slightly moist wax. Which I guess for this level kind of makes sense, but yeah, it's always felt a little weird. Especially on the old speakers I used to listen to this on back when I first had it on my PS2. Trying to remember, actually, where did I get Sly 1 in specific? I know I got Sly 3 with my PS2. I think I got Sly 1 for cheap at, like, a Target, back when they used to have the out-of-circulation, cheaper games on, like, the end cap of a given aisle for the game stuff. Back when they had the kiosks that you had to crane your neck 90 degrees upwards to see when you were less than 5 feet tall. I can still feel the neck pain. So, in some regards, what's weird about this stage is that mechanically, it's like a twin-stick shooter, but with the way the shields feel, it almost feels like it's closer to a shoot-'em-up or a modern mobile game that, at least this type you see in, like, YouTube ads. Like, I could just see the extraneous numbers over the gates going, you need to have a strength of 3 to break this, and you need to shoot this thing to get a strength of 2.
According to my paranormal story, that is really highly charged ectoplasm. It's got to be the source of power for those headstone generators.
Sorry, what was that, Bentley? I couldn't hear you.
That is a lot of ectoplasm.
Look at all the Slimers.
Ugh. It's gross.
I remember thinking distinctly as a kid that the word ectoplasm sounded like it tasted like lime, and I can't quite parse why in words now. It's just how child brain worked. Although ecto-cooler might also have been a cause for that, back when that was initially around before it got taken off shelves before they brought it back for the 2016 Ghostbusters film. What's, I guess, kind of more apparent about this game's, I'm not going to say uneven pacing, that's not the right term for it, but indecisiveness about how much it wants to go into certain mechanics is that it does feel like some levels begin or end right as they begin to get interesting, or they just sort of suddenly end with no real final build-up for the level themselves, especially with the minigame types like this. But that's not really an issue unique to it. A lot of platformers that had secondary playstyles like this had that a lot of the time. Crash Bandicoot, I think some of its stages that do this have that. High Jetpack stage in Crash 2. It's probably a thing of, like, too much variety ends up making the depth worse. Alright, if memory serves, though, we're now on to my least favorite mission in the entire world. Down home cooking.
I don't like the sound of that.
Also hit those candles to open up a shortcut back to the front, not that you ever really need it. Time for the crab minigame for this world.
Not again.
With all the hay and feathers in here, just looking at this place has got me breaking out in hives. But we've got no choice. That ghost over there contacted me on Spectre Wave Radio, and we've cut a deal. He's promised us a key if you can whack 50 chickens. I guess he needs them to make a big pot of gumbo, but he's scared of the bob-toting roosters. Be careful, or they'll blow you to bits. Think you can do it?
While this music sounds like we're in for a rip-roaring time, this minigame sucks. 50 chickens. One failure, and I think you're basically out.
I can't believe Bentley got a deal with a ghost.
Look, Sly, sometimes in order to get things done, you need to cut a deal with the devil.
Oh my god, those roosters are gunning for you.
Yeah, they are aggressive, and this minigame, I think when I was a kid, I failed at this more than the crabs and maybe every other minigame across the campaign, even the driving, aside from one in the final world.
Oh yeah, like that's way too tight. Way too tight for you to like get away from them comfortably. Oh my god, I thought you almost hit them there.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Nah.
This is a case where, you know, the Snow Beast Award from the Ratchet & Clank developer stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they did that over in Sucker Punch, this would have been the Snow Beast Award for Sly 1. Either
Also,
this or a certain other stage down the line.
Also, it's a ghost. Why does he need gumbo?
Afterlife?
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna question it at this point.
Or, let's see, this specific ghost is from here, but also is ancestrally from Mexico, so the Day of the Dead is in their family, and it's all a tie into the movie Coco.
A Coco and Sly Cooper crossover would be kind of fun.
Honestly, kinda, yeah. Alright, though, we're on to the boss fight.
Could feel that Cooper vibe a-coming. Most distastefully bad juju.
Yeah, well, you give me the creeps too, lady. Cooking up an army of ghosts isn't a very neighborly pastime.
Oh, Sly. I see your mouth a-moving, but all I hear is blah, blah, blah. Well, if jaws need to flap, then let them flap. See you in the next world, Sly Cooper.
This boss fight is weird. Phase 1 is just a brief platforming section as the gator skull that we're in actively chomps down. You need to just point jump from place to place. But once we get over to where she is right now, the real gimmick begins, and it's not that it's hard, it's just that it feels like it shouldn't be a boss fight.
Come back here. You can't run away forever.
Quite true. Quite true. Why don't I have my servant Chumley escort you over here?
All right. What's the catch?
Oh, not much. Just a little game I like to play with all my annoying guests. I want to see how well you pay attention.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll unleash my mighty mojo magic upon you. If you repeat what I do, you'll dodge it just fine. If not, You'll get zapped!
A little voodoo Simon Says, huh? Sounds easy enough.
Sly honestly did a pretty good description there. This is Simon Says. She'll fire several waves of button prompts at you, press them in the rhythm to dodge them. Guess you could also look at this as Space Channel 5 in some regards, but it's just... This feels like it honestly should have been the minigame to the chickens and then have a different way to fight Miss Ruby overall. There's probably a way to incorporate magic into a fight that's not this. It just feels like weirdly out of place compared to the other boss fights.
It really does, and like the prompts come at you really fast.
As you see right there, the timing for them is also a little bit strict, because you definitely need to press them when they're closer to you, but not right on top of you. The spacing on top of the camera angle they give you is not exactly the most helpful either. Yeah, this can be a little rough. It's not a super long boss fight, thankfully, because it's the first phase we did a moment ago with the jaws clenching down. It's the turtle ride, it's this, and then we have one more phase at that. I think the longest a singular section of notes gets is about 9 notes. And thankfully you can always see the notes coming. It's not like certain rhythm games where they'll disguise the notes as they get closer to you.
Yeah.
I do like the chickens dancing, though.
Yeah, that's honestly a really fun touch.
Sly 2 Beyond definitely does better with having usually more interesting boss fights than Sly 1 on the whole. But then again, if that's not super apparent via our commentary, that's kind of the whole thing with Sly 2 Beyond to begin with. Alright, final phase, we ride the mosquito. And this is where it's revealed that it's actually a firefly, and this is all an alternate tale to the Princess Frog. Princess and the Frog, rather. The Princess Frog. Did I just combine Princess and the Frog and the Princess Bride?
Yes, you did.
My name is Inigo Maldonia. You killed my frog? Prepare to die? I've lost this joking analogy. As the tempo picks up towards the end, it's also especially to take a very sudden hit. And if you've lost your lucky charms up to this point, or you don't have any, it can get a little testy.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like there's no room for error.
You certainly got some rhythm, Raccoon. But it won't help you none if you're fixing to go after Panda King. He's tough, with a capital T. If you go poking around his stronghold in China, you're likely to get poked back.
Yeah, well, if he's anything like the rest of you, I think I'll manage. Ms. Ruby's section of the Thievius Raccoonus held notes from my pioneering ancestor, Slyton Common. His invisibility technique allowed him to steal from corrupt pharaohs and greedy noblemen. Right on schedule, Inspector Fox's arrival cued my exit. The production of zombies, made illegal in the World Peace Accord of '71, earned Ms. Ruby a life sentence behind bars. While the gang and I enjoyed a few weeks in the tropical sunshine, working on our tans in preparation for our next caper.
And with that, we finished up our time in Vicious Voodoo over in Haiti. And that means now it's time for our fourth world, which is my favorite aesthetically and honestly probably mechanically even. But with that, we're going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 8, we're heading to China. See you guys then.
Bye-bye.